Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Nebula Jazz. It is Season 2, Episode 4, Part 1, Arc 0, Subsection 4, Part B.
Yes, more.
Name it.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It is lovely to be here in space with all of you. They say it's cold and lonely out in space, but I'm not having that experience. I want to talk about a film that I have seen recently and that I think some of you may have also seen recently. And I would like to know your opinions and thoughts about this film. The film in question is Thor, Ragnarok. How has anybody not seen it? I mean, not you, Chad. I don't care if you've seen it or not.
Whoa.
People hear these. Hey, chat's fine. Chat, I like you. Hi, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to my friends. Don't interrupt.
Wound off the
Just
wound.
kidding. Just kidding. But seriously, let's
I know
not
that
spoil
Sam-
it. I'm just curious if y'all have seen it.
Yeah, I know Sam, Jesse, and I have because we all saw it together.
Pokket, have you seen Thor?
Yeah, I just saw it yesterday.
Okay.
Sick.
Did you enjoy the film?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
also-
they copied everything we do on this
I
show,
know.
but whatever.
See, Jesse, that's where I was
Whatever.
getting.
They really chomped our flavor, but I mean, I guess
yeah, I
it's
mean,
fine.
whatever. Yeah, whatever.
If they wanted to bite our stees so bad, they could just have at least shouted us out in the credits.
Yeah,
or
they
given
literally-
us a cameo because
Halfway through the movie, they
Taika,
turn
buddy.
Thor into Rex. They make him fight against a big giant
I feel
green.
like-
I'm gonna say lizard. And yeah, there was a slime. There was a slime being Jeff Goldblum. There was a like a troublemaking girl who was Valkyrie. It was all the same. This is our show. It's our show. They stole it.
Didn't we, I mean, like, if we're doing full circle here, we kind of, like, took inspiration from Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a Marvel creation, which then Marvel
Thor-
rolled us.
I
So,
don't-
ipso facto, the balance is restored, right?
yeah, I mean the balance would be restored if they gave us millions of dollars to rip us off.
Yeah, exactly.
Then,
Yeah.
then maybe
I like the
That'd
way
be
you
great.
think, Adam.
All right.
that might.
Good
that-
job, Adam. Keep
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah. So Taika Waititi, buddy, you just at me. It's cool. We can work this out. There's no need to get litigious. It's fine. Seriously though,
Get
Uh,
litigious.
I thought it was quite good. It wasn't.
It wasn't a Thor movie to
Speaking
me.
of which,
Oh,
when's Marvel?
When's Marvel?
I thought it was good, but it was not as. It just felt like a 2-hour version of the trailer. Like I expected there to be more to it, and I did not feel that there.
Can I tell you my one beef with this movie?
Yeah.
The goddess of death was
Yeah.
more like the goddess of swords and throwing stuff.
Yes, thank you. That's what I said.
I was
Her
like, you're supposed
superpower
to be
is a lot
awesome.
of
Why are you
knives.
just? I was like, why are you just throwing shit? Fucking
Yeah.
like,
You guys don't
Fucking-
understand. The goddess, her ability didn't grant her the title Goddess of Death. It was the fact that she fucking killed everyone.
Yeah,
They
she
granted
killed
her the title
fucking
Goddess of
people.
Death.
but that's dumb because like,
How is that dumb?
Because Thor is not the
Thor
god of
actually
thunder.
had
because
Are
he
you
thunder.
running
created
your finger
thunder.
for this?
Odin,
has thunder.
Odin
Should we
is the
spoil
god
it?
of war,
I feel
and
like
she
that's
was
it.
Odin's executioner, the god of death.
I get what they were
You-
going for.
Sam
I
Strippin,
get
god
what they
of
were
semantics.
going for. I wish that she just, all those dead people who died that she killed should have been her army, because that I would have been fine with that. Like, oh, cool. She resin people.
Honestly, I didn't really care about that. What I cared about was that in a movie that was so aesthetic, she felt like a female Loki to me. And I wanted her to be a bit more distinct and less green.
Like red or something.
Yeah, there are other colors that seem sinister, right?
Orange, red.
Yeah.
I think
That's crazy.
I actually really enjoyed that they took a more comedic approach because I found the last Thor to be really boring. The fight
Yeah.
scenes were always cool, but like this had epic fight scenes and like comedy.
I'm gonna put up like I'm gonna say a spoiler. I'm gonna say a big old spoiler. So this is my hand as I'm spoilering, okay? And when I put it down, I'm done spoiling. Here's the thing that bothered me. The moral of the story seems to be you can be a huge dick to whoever you want and get away with it as long as the movie ends and you're still alive. Like Odin, Nobody ever, it was never like a, you know what, our dad's a douchebag. The conversation never happened. He's just allowed to be shitty Odin. And then on top of that, Thor was so mean to Hulk and then also so mean to Bruce Banner the whole movie. Bruce even says, dude, you don't even like me. I'm not even your friend. And Thor's like, yeah, I guess I'm not. Can you still Hulk for me? And it's fine. He just gets away with it. It's not fair. I didn't like it. It made me sad. I was like, why are you being so mean to Bruce Banner? Also, I think that Thor only works if there is someone in the movie who is smarter than him, and nobody was, and so it felt real dumb.
I also agree with you. I think Thor is a better like companion to someone else than his own thing. I've never been into the Thor movies, but that's just
I don't agree with any of you.
I feel
That's fine.
Sam, are you sad because you think that you are Thor? Do you identify with Thor? Is that the problem?
I think you take Thor 1 and 2, and then Thor Ragnarok isn't part of that. It's like almost like a completely new franchise. Like I can see Thor Ragnarok 2 being a thing, and so like to compare it to the other two Thors, I think is no, you shouldn't do that. I think it was great.
The problem is, though, is you have to because same characters, right? Like that, and that is the problem. That is the weakness, right? Is that the Thor of the Avengers and the Hulk of the Avengers did not work because they were out of context. I felt like this could have been a better movie if it wasn't a Thor movie. If it was just some other character and they did some other stuff in another part of the Marvel universe. Thor added nothing to it. Like the thing about Thor is that he's funny because he's dumb and he's out of context. But when there's no normal context for him to be in, it's either boring like the second movie or like not quite Guardians of the Galaxy like this one.
I feel like one thing I liked though is that it showed like this evolution of his character and finding his true power and knowing that it wasn't in his hammer and stuff like that. Like I feel like that was like really good.
It sucks because he's going to get killed in the next movie so quickly. It's going to be great. Shout out to Thanos, who will destroy everyone and kill all the characters. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. Kill them all, Thanos. Every last motherfucking one of them. Well, also, shout out to them being like, the gauntlet's not even real. What a dumb moment in the movie. I almost died.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is they can't maintain this universe forever, and eventually, yes, there will have to be some kind of event that destroys it all or ends the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
A la comic books.
Yeah.
I like it because you got lore that you didn't get before, like the Valkyries and stuff, and it showed a lot about them, and I thought that was really cool. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
There was a ton of good stuff in that movie for sure. I just think that as a film, it was pretty bad. Like, just kind of disappointing.
You're insane.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I thought
she and Jeff Goldblum stole that movie away from everyone else and pooped on everyone else because they were just way better. But that's just me.
Taika Waititi's character, like Korg, was the best part, and because he knew he was in a dumb movie. Everything he said was like right at the camera, like, "Hey, this is pretty dumb, isn't it?"
Like every single fight scene was pretty epic for me. I really enjoyed every single one of them. Like all of them were visually amazing, especially Hulk versus Thor. So I thought it was just great.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I guess when I go to no longer do I go to like a comic movie expecting to have like this awe-inspiring experience. I gave up on that a long time ago.
That's what happened to you. What hurt you to make you hate yourself like that?
I kept getting my hopes up and they would just be crushed. So I
always get my hopes up. I always get my hopes
up. She's a huge DC fan. That's where all of her hope went.
Oh, that's right.
Moment to die.
Oh man, I just kind of want to give you a hug.
Oh, so sorry. I feel bad. Okay,
That's
the last comic movie I really enjoyed was The Dark Knight. That's the last one that I was like, this was pretty phenomenal. And the Joker stole it. Heath Ledger stole it. So
I feel so bad for you.
I'm so hard. No, Batman vs Superman was utter garbage, and Suicide Squad makes me want to cry. So.
More spoilers? Are we done?
Yeah.
Everybody else?
I think we're done.
Okay. And that's why. No. So, yeah. So I mean, they're unquestionably they succeeded at the aesthetics that they were going for. I think it was a beautiful looking movie. It was so fun, and I felt pretty like coming away from it. I was like, yeah, cool, like good, weird genre mixing chaos. Like a good job with that. So that's the takeaway for me is that it was that part was what.
And also that we should be rich.
Yeah. Yes. Also that we should.
That's the takeaway. Yeah. That's what I get out of the Marvel movies. Man, I should be rich.
Oh my God! So
she means that we should have got royalties. Jesse.
Yeah.
I know. I'm being a goof.
Did you see the trailer for Black Panther?
Yes, it looks amazing.
That looks so good. I was just like, holy shit, I'm going to like this more than any other one.
Right? That's the one that I'm the most excited for right now.
I just want to put this out there. Maybe it's just me. When it comes to the comics and stuff, especially Marvel, I've always liked the more like way out there in space, crazy like world killing shit. But when it comes to the movies, Captain America 2,
I know,
like,
right? Captain America 2,
all
Civil
the ones
War.
that are like down to earth, the
Yeah.
ones that are just like about like intrigue and shit and like two dudes fighting are way more entertaining than any of the ones that are like, we've got to save the galaxy. I don't know why. And that's what I like the most, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Well, I mean, I think that Black Panther is likely to be in that vein more than
That's what I hope so.
the
Yeah.
cosmic lunacy vein, because it's very much just about, now that we know Wakanda exists as a result of Civil War, we can go and see why Wakanda is a big deal, and then it's pretty much just set in the, like, it's not about the larger world, it's about Wakanda as a country and like what it's about and its politics and stuff, and I think that'll be cool. It looks really good. All the costuming looks so good. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. Yeah. So Marvel stuff. I saw Blade Runner for the 5th time yesterday.
I still have not seen that at all.
It is so good. Definitely go see it.
I assume since you've seen it that many times, that maybe you like it.
If you get a chance to see it in the theater, please do. Because I think that it, as with all of Denis Villeneuve's films, it's big and it's worth seeing in the theater for sure. Yeah, it's real good.
So good.
It is so good. Yeah, so I've seen it quite a few times. I didn't get to catch it in IMAX because I think we have like one IMAX theater in Vancouver and it's really fucking far away.
Hey Adam, how much did you spend on a replica gun for?
$899.95.
Okay, cool.
There you go. JP got what he wanted.
Hey, Adam. I tweeted out a thing that was like, hey, boy, did I like this movie. And it was this big like tweet about how much I enjoyed Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I got a tweet from the @Blade Runner, and it was like, yo, hey, can we use this as a quote? And I was like, only if you send me a bottle of the whiskey from
nice.
Blade Runner.
Did they? Fuck yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Nice.
It's straight up just like the bottle they drink in the movie.
Yeah, Gears posted on Instagram. He bought one of those. They're like a promo Jack Daniels thing.
I don't know that I can ever drink this. I want to drink this. I'm gonna say, Adam, I'm gonna save it for you.
Right,
when
okay.
I next see you, I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna make you drink this with me.
I will do that. I'll happily do that.
Star Wars.
Just keep the bottle. You can drink what's inside.
Yeah, but like I have to save it for a special occasion.
Yeah.
I will drink that whole thing. We can get tore up and then we can go down and tire some replicants. It'll be fine.
Oh my god, done.
Oh my God.
Done.
I'm just imagining us chasing Brooke around a parking lot, throwing stuff at her, claiming she's a replicant.
No.
Calling her a replicant, like, get back your
guys.
replicant.
Come back here, replicant.
Just like drunkenly, like, get back here, replicant.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of like comic books and stuff. So again, my animator Danny was in town and he's been obsessed with this French comic book and cartoon called Last Man. And he's been telling me about it for months. And he finally was like, look, it's on Verve. Can we please, just you and Sam, let's just sit down and watch the first episode and see what you think. And we were like, okay, fine. And now we're fucking so in on this show. It's incredible. You can watch it in French with subtitles on VRV. But there's 24 episodes and each episode is like 12 minutes long. And I don't even know how to describe it, but the animation is fantastic. The music is so good. And yeah, the show leads directly into the comic series, which is how it all started. So
like the show is first and then the comic?
The show is a prequel.
Okay, cool.
The show has so much important information in it that I'm like, how the fuck did they write a comic without people knowing everything that's happening in this show?
It's like Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
But it's amazing. It's so good. And they've brought over the first 6 volumes of the comic, but they're not bringing over any more until they know whether or not people actually are going to buy it. So I'm trying to evangelize for it and be like, please check it out, see if you like it, and please
here you are, America. You may have the first 5 volumes until you prove to us that you love our comic books, and you can have the rest. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. I like it. Last Man. Not to be
that was
confused.
good, but you were missing the cigarette. But that was
The
good.
best bit is that
I
one
can't
of
smoke
the
inside. All right, it's fine.
best
I'm
bit is that
Canadian.
one of the villains is an Italian mob boss. So he's like French with an Italian accent.
It's amazing. It
mindfuck.
sounds so.
Also, there's an English dub if you hate French. So
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig it. There's again growing up.
No,
on
not
Canada-
as in Why the Last Man,
Oh,
Chad.
yeah, comment.
No. Just Last Man.
Yeah, Last Man. It's his last name. His name is
as in he's the last man you want to see, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
but not Why the Last Man. Not that other Last Man.
No.
No, not that guy.
No relation. But yeah, I'm growing up in Canada, we have lots of exposure to like French animation and stuff, and there's lots of like weird, cool kind of like French cartoons and stuff. Because I mean, like there's a lineage there, right? There's lots of French cartoons. Mobius is responsible for like so much of early sci-fi's like look, and we kind of forget that in the face of the Japanese cartoons and American cartoons. But yeah, weird Euro cartoons definitely worth looking into if you're getting tired of the anime. So I'm gonna look up this Lastman. I'm interested in this guy.
Lastman.
John Lastman.
Johnny Lastman. Cool. Thanks for the
Nice
link.
guy.
Oops. Pokket, what have you been up to? You watch anything good besides Thor?
I just started Black Mirror. Like, just started it. That's about all I've been watching. I'm still finishing Fate Zero. And I finished something. Oh, well, Stranger Things. That's it. So no,
Okay,
I
so
haven't been doing
let's talk about Black Mirror for a second.
not too much because I just started.
Yeah. No, I mean generally as a show.
Oh, okay.
So you're watching the very first season, which is the one that has. What was the last episode you saw? What was the
Okay,
general?
well, can I just admit that Netflix is stupid, and I hit, like, for the first time ever, hit to play, and it started on season 3. So I watched the whole first episode, and I'm like, I don't get what's going on at all.
It
And
does
then
that.
I realized I'm on season 3,
Interesting.
episode 1. Yeah, and then I realized I had to go back to season 1, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm going back to season 1.
Yeah, the mirror was only gray in season 1. It hadn't fully and got the. I mean, it's like Twilight Zone. There's not an arc or anything to it.
Oh.
Each episode is its own thing. Yeah, they're all standalone. It's like Twilight Zone or like The Outer Limits. But yeah, so
They're all standalone anyway, aren't they? Every episode.
That's crazy. That's cool. So okay. Well, I saw that one. It was I don't want to spoil it.
Wait,
but-
so if you saw season 3, you saw the Bryce Dallas Howard episode, right?
I saw the one where like they had
The
like
social currency
they-
episode.
they were like rating everyone.
Yeah,
That one, and I was
that's
just
a great
like,
episode.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaky as shit, man. So,
I'm
this
glad
is-
that your first episode wasn't the first episode of season
Uh-huh.
1 because
Yeah.
it literally made me go, I don't want to fucking watch this show. And everybody's
So-
like, it's great. It's so good. The first episode really doesn't do the show justice. And I'm like, I don't think I'll ever watch this show again.
trying to convince people to watch Black Mirror, if that's the thing that you want to do, feels a little like trying to convince people to watch Panty and Stocking, where you're like, you should watch this. It's really good. And I
That's
watch the first
fair.
episode, and you're like, I'm sorry. Please continue to watch it, please.
I'm so sorry you experienced the beginning of what feels like a train wreck. I promise. Just
the thing about
keep going.
Black Mirror, I think at least, is that some episodes are San Junipero, and some episodes are what if bees could kill you because of a hashtag, right? Like it's so tonally all over the place
Yeah,
that some episodes are like, well, yeah, they understand the like dark side of technology, and others are like, whoa, Grandpa wrote an episode about how he doesn't understand Twitter. So it's
what is the bugs episode? There's one about bugs. I can't remember what that, but like they go kill. It's so weird. It's a weird series.
The one I was making fun of is the one where there are cyber bees because all the bees are dead, and someone on Twitter starts a kill this person hashtag, and then whoever gets the most hits on that hashtag, the bees kill them. The cyber bees go and kill them.
Dude, that's just weird. See, if that had been the episode I watched, I would have been like, why am I watching this?
Right.
Why do people say this is good?
you'll have in your journey through Black Mirror, you will definitely have episodes of that where you're just like, wow, Rod Serling, thanks for this style of cinema. But there are some real good ones. San Junipero is the best one, like no question in my mind.
Punisher's coming out this week, and so is Justice.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for both those. I really like Punisher, and I like John Bernthal a lot. Like a lot.
How much? Like a
Okay.
lot?
Like a lot?
Like
when he was Shane, you thought he was in the right, like that much.
like he could do no wrong, pretty much, like that much. Even though he always plays an asshole or psychopath. So
True.
It's like a lot.
So like a lot.
Oh, okay.
you
All
like
right.
him, like him.
Yeah, like if you had to
like
circle,
Do
yeah,
you want
do
to
you like
date
him?
him?
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell Zeke, and Zeke's gonna tell him because I heard they're friends, so he's gonna find out.
Oh my god. My headphones fell off. Oh my god.
Stop it before you
wow.
yourself. You're
Yeah,
gonna
like that much. Like that much, Jesse.
I love it so much. Oh my god.
So what do you like about? Because I'm mixed on the Punisher character, but what do you? I mean, I think you like grim darker stuff than me, but what do you like about Punisher?
Pokket?
Help me understand. Pokket.
What was I like that he's playing it, first of all. I like vigilantes, honestly. I like that whole idea of vigilante. I've always appreciated that because I mean, ever since I was young, maybe a little too young, and watched Boondock Saints, and I was like, I feel well. I mean, my favorite character is Batman. Granted, he doesn't go and murder a bunch of people, but he is a vigilante.
Punisher, right? Punisher is a bit like a less rich, more military Batman who's willing to kill people, I guess.
Yeah, and I've always found that premise, and then like a lot of them have this like really dark background of why they got into it in the first place, and then they just go crazy on a bunch of like.
Jesse, you try not to laugh at Adam's
I know. I'm
stretch
so
to
waiting for
a Batman Punisher correlation.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
I was about to say Superman is just like Batman, but he's from a different planet and he has superpowers.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, we're all just humans on the inside,
Yeah,
okay?
really.
Just everybody's the same.
I think if you're gonna compare, I guess Daredevil is obviously more along the moral line of Batman. Not richness, but more. He's a vigilante who doesn't kill.
I understood how Batman and Daredevil didn't just like have a conversation and be like, "Look, dude, obviously we've switched names by accident. You're the blind guy who fights crime. You should be Batman, and I'm the crazy rich guy who likes to take big risks to fight crime. So I'm going to be the Daredevil. We'll swap them. It's fine.
Exactly. And then what is it? We got Punisher, who's like this, like similar, but he's willing to kill. He doesn't care. And then you have, what is it, like Red Hood, in Batman, who they're vigilantes who murder. So
Sweet Jason.
and I like when Daredevil and Punisher were kind of facing off because they didn't like line up together morally, and it's like you can't kill, and it's like, well, can we though?
Can we move on to important things?
No. Or
Right,
tricking you too much.
Your definition of important is never important. So
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna say,
know.
here we go. Here
Okay.
goes.
Lord of the Rings on Amazon
Oh yeah.
is going to be a prequel, which I assume, unless it's like Frodo chilling in the Shire, is Silmarillion? Question mark?
Because everybody needs a TV show that lasts as long as the average elven lifespan and is about shit. Nobody. It's like making the Bible into a TV show, like
Which has been done a lot. So don't say
if
that.
everybody doesn't talk in a way where at the end of each episode you look at somebody next to you and go, I don't know what the fuck anybody said in this, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, if they make a Silmarillion TV show, I will be glad that they made a TV show just for me and the 3 other Tolkien dorks that I know.
I'd be really. I'd be
I don't
thrilled.
even know what
I'd be
that
so
fucking
excited.
word means. So you're already isolated.
Listen, there's the Silmarils are magical elven gemstones, and I don't need to do this.
Silmarillion is another book. Is another Tolkien book that's like a companion.
I
Lord of
would.
the
I
Rings
am.
and
I
The
would be
Hobbit.
so excited. I would be so excited. We get the backstory of my dude Morgoth. Get him in there. Get that dragon that's the size of a mountain. Put that dragon in that shit. Have an awesome fight.
I don't think Amazon has a history of good shows, though. Sorry to burst the bubble here, but
What are you talking about? Man in the High Castle is awesome.
I really like
saying.
Transparent, but that's not at all
I'm just
like
saying.
Lord of the Rings.
You guys are excited without you casting the doubts aside.
I'm
Let me bring them to the
I'm very
forefront.
excited.
But it's
Alright.
or was that Hulu?
Sometimes
Which-
even Netflix fucks up, and
Well,
they're
yeah,
the
of
best of them.
course.
We could there's so much potential. We
Hulu's making
could
good stuff.
we could get like a story about Fëanor, son of Fëanor. I don't remember his damn name. Right? Come on. Melkor, the Deceiver. Get out of town. There's so much.
I just want more of that sweet, fuckable Shelob action. I want that hot spider lady.
I'm glad we.
She better be a spider.
Yeah.
As we have discussed numerous times, I would fuck a spider. Shelob killing it in Shadows of War. Just, I don't know why. I don't know why they decided to retcon and make a spider a woman, but all right.
You know what?
Well, they actually established that it's a woman that becomes a spider and not a spider that becomes a woman.
Which timeout of all of the things she could decide to be to fight against Sauron, because apparently she hates Sauron. Why a spider? Why was she like?
Did you play the fucking game?
I did, and I know that she's like, because it's quick and quiet. That's dumb as fuck.
Because
she's a spider.
She was set on weaving a web of revenge, and her vengeance took the form of a spider.
Can I,
Fuck.
if I could,
Do anything.
For my birthday next year, I would like all media to just give me this one thing and to never, ever, ever use a spider as a metaphor for someone who is like pulling the strings behind the scenes ever again. Just please be done with that forever. Just retire that fucking trope. I'm so sick of it. It's the cheesiest metaphor. So bad. So bad.
Can we, Jesse, I know this is important to you. Can we get on to more important things? Hey, Sam, how was getting over it?
I'm over it.
He got over it.
I got over it.
Yeah, tell us about it. Game of the year.
You should let JP talk about it. According to JP, is fucking top 10 game of the year.
Is it? I don't know.
According to me, it's not even a video game. It's just a fucking troll simulator to see how much punishment you can take before you walk away. And eventually people slog through for 3 days and beat it, which I haven't had the willpower to do yet. I played it once for like 4 hours. It is what it is. It's a terrible fucking game. It's a terrible game.
On a scale of 1 to 10, though, how bad did you rage?
It's more of an experience than
Okay, so isn't it just like QWOP? Is it not just like that style of like help me understand this?
All right, it's
Sam.
the guy that made QWOP, but it was inspired by some other indie game. You're a man in a pot, so you have no legs.
Sure.
And you're holding a sledgehammer, and you
Yeah.
have to climb a mountain of random miscellaneous.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
If you like, it's obviously quite finicky. The controls aren't great. If you slip, you fall down back to the bottom, and you have to climb all the way to the top again.
Right. So it's like the myth of Sisyphus. You're just like climbing the mountain forever, and the game's designer is like the eagle pecking at your liver.
Yeah, and then
while you suffer.
And he has like really shitty dialogue. So like every time you fall, he'll
and you have to hear it again.
Yeah, he'll let you know that you fell, and be like, "Well, maybe you should just pick yourself up." It's like that.
Speaking of falling, what if we get a story about the falling of Melkor when he destroyed the 2 trees with the help of Ungoliant?
Oh my god!
Wouldn't that be amazing? And then like we could have the battle of the Elvish kingdom of Doriath. That'd be pretty good too, right, guys? Right?
Speaking my language, Jesse Cox.
Right, the Valinor.
Right,
We can talk
JP
about the
just
Valinor.
said begin role playing. JP said begin role playing.
I'm just saying.
He made the call.
Vanyar, come on. What
Sorry,
if
everybody. The role play alarm is going off.
we can talk about the elves that were turned into orcs by Melkor. Just think about it. Think about all the things we could talk about.
Jesse, don't make me do this, man, because you know you're talking my language. But we have a show to do, and in the future, when people give a shit about Lord of the Rings again because of this very popular Amazon series, thanks Amazon. Maybe we could do a tie-in role-playing game. Amazon, what's up? How you doing, buddy? And then we could talk about the Lord of the Rings as much as we want. Jeff, seriously.
I hate this. I hate how this has begun.
Tweet at me, man.
We just do our own role play, but it's just you and I, and all we do is talk about Lord of the Rings.
and then what did Melkor do? All right. Well, until such time that a hero rises from Amazon's ranks to make this TV show good and let us talk about role-playing and Lord of the Rings, we have this other space horseshit to do. Now we got to make some money for Marvel. Marvel, if you're watching, fuck off or pay us. So, previously on Nebula Jazz, our dear friends were separated. Our dear friends were separated by the taking off of a mighty casino / spaceship, the rending thereof from the station. Two of you, Luna and Basil, are on the ship, having piloted it away. The other two of you remain behind. One of you in the hands of an enemy, potentially. The other desperately searching for her mentor. And I would like to begin this episode 4, part 1.5. If you're watching at home, I would like you to imagine in your mind, if you're familiar enough with the song, or go ahead and just queue up in another tab the YouTube video for "Head Over Heels" by Tears for Fears. If you could just go ahead and just pop that into your old brain bin there.
Got me going to YouTube.
So we fade in on a like slightly unsaturated, like lower saturation shot than the main show. So the main show is like super high saturated, lots of color. But this immediately, the color palette indicates to us that we're seeing a flashback. It's not sepia. This isn't old timey, but it's just muted a little bit to set the tone. Maybe a little blurrier, a little less clarity than usual. And we hear Head Over Heels. We hear the song begin, and we can see that we're in a party. We're at a party in a very like fancy 80s party at a house full of aliens. Rich-looking aliens in cool 80s wear, lots of like Cyndi Lauper style alien dresses. And we see a man enter the party. He's a near human, and he's wearing a pastel suit with the collar undone, and he's looking kind of nervous. You can tell that this guy's like not familiar with this crowd. He's maybe like the new guy, and he walks in. We see him look around nervously, and a little ways across the room, we can see that there is a group of people standing around, and there's a tiny little pink marsupial alien kind of holding court, and he's talking to these guys, and they're all like laughing, and they're obviously his cronies. And our new guy walks in, and we see somebody lift their head up from a mirror, like brushing their nose off, and they look over, and the two of them make eye contact across the room. And so that scene sort of fades out. And we fade in on a picnic. It looks like similar people, but they're like at a beach, and there's some people playing beach volleyball, and it looks like a corporate like retreat or something. And all these people know each other, and they're having drinks and having a great time. And there's we see somebody, the same guy that we saw before, the nervous dude in the pastel suit. We see him like jump up to spike the ball. And he's wearing like a little Speedo and looking all handsome and sweaty. And he goes to spike the ball, and he stumbles, and he falls into that same guy that he made eye contact with. And the two of them kind of like laugh awkwardly and go back to playing their game. So that fades out. We crossfade into another scene in a dirty alley, and there's like laser blasts on the wall of the alley, and there's a space car parked in the alley, and the whole scene is lit by the taillights from this car. And these two guys, now they're wearing these dark suits and sunglasses, and they're lifting a body off the ground, and they're throwing it in the back of the trunk of the space car. And the shy one like looks at his hands, he's got blood in his hands, and the other guy takes out a handkerchief and hands it to him, and just for a moment their fingers touch as he wipes the blood from his hands, and they smile softly at one another. And in the light of the alley, in the light of this car, we see their shadows come together in a romantic kiss as the music swells. The next thing we see is a wedding. It is a large wedding scene on an asteroid somewhere. There's stars flying by in the background. All these people are here, and they're all together. They're the same crowd we've seen. All these things are the co-workers of these two, and they're both dressed in their beautiful tuxedos up at the end, and they're getting married by this tentacle eyeball creature. And everybody's cheering and throwing space rice, and they're all very happy. We see the two of them get into a spaceship, and the spaceship, flies off with space tin cans clanking together behind it, and they fly off on their space honeymoon. And then we see a beach, and we see several sets of footprints leading away, and we follow them down to a man on his knees, covered in blood, holding his fist to the sky. We see our shy gangster from the first scene now alone. There's a pair of bloody dress shoes on the ground, maybe like some tatters of a dark suit lying behind, and he picks up a piece of the suit from the ground. We can see the serrated edge of a shark.
I'm amazed that Jesse doesn't know what this is yet, by the way.
The serrated edge of shark's teeth on it as he lifts it, stares at it, and screams silently to the sky as the song fades out, and we fade in on a dingy janitorial closet somewhere. We can only see vaguely, barely, right? The contrast comes back, saturation comes back to let us know that we've arrived in the present. And this is as the credits are fading, this sort of, a role play production brought to you by, and like these things are fading out on the edges of vision. And we can see in the middle of the room, tied to a chair, shadows covering his nether regions. We see the scarred and unconscious body of old Rex. And we can hear footsteps coming to the door. There's the sliding sound of a bar snapping open, and then the door slams open, and we can see from Rex's perspective just the outline of a figure holding a bat or a crowbar or something, some long, dangerous-looking metal object. And he steps into the room. And we cut from that scene to external shot of space. And in space, we can see a long trail of debris, both miscellaneous bits of broken glass, pieces of metal and concrete floating in space. And as we pan up this, we can see that this trail is drifting off of the broken bottom of the now sealed glass kind of UFO shape of the one-time casino, now separated saucer section of your new spaceship. And we fade from there, crossfade into the ship, and Basil and Luna, where are the two of you when we see you on your ship? See Basil like a little captain's hat, like at the wheel, or
no? Basil is playing Slowbach at the table still, trying to learn the game. He still doesn't understand how to play. And meanwhile, there's just dozens and dozens of people terrified, all like huddled in corners. And he's just like not even paying attention to them, trying to figure out this game because it does not make sense to him.
Right. A bunch of hostages.
Yeah. But he also has his disruptor beam weapon with him. Yeah.
So we see Basil put a card into the field, and then there's like a beeping sound. The beam turns red, and it's like, no, too fast. Try again. And then he like,
yeah.
And then it's the same thing. So it just keeps beeping at you. And yeah, meanwhile, behind you, we see this huddled mass of terrified humanoids who have been kidnapped by these space terrorists when the casino was broken away from the station. Luna, where are you?
I'll have you know I'm not a terrorist. Okay.
Are you trying to explain this to someone?
Yeah, like someone's next to me and they're like looking terrified, and I hear it like whisperings, and I'm like, no, that's not what's happening at all. They left us no choice. And then you see her like she's grabbed like all these glasses, and she has some like she's making like these mixtures from things in her pouch. Like she sprinkles some like dust into this glass that is already filled with this liquid, and then she goes and she grabs some alcohol and she mixes it, and then it fizzles up out of it, and it just pours all over the desk, and the desk that it's on starts like eroding a little bit, and then she's like, oh, that was the wrong thing, I'm sorry. No, don't drink that, or you can if you want. And she like looks at this like very dainty she assumes female alien. And and the alien like starts crying.
Yeah, she's wearing a very like obvious like casino dealer's outfit.
Yeah.
And she's covered in like wavering cilia, which if you knew what species she were, you would know that she's in extreme emotional distress. Normally their cilia are flat and neutral against their bodies, but she's terrified. Hers are just wiggling like crazy. And so this amoeba girl is just staring at you with her eye clusters in fear of her life. And I think she says to you, Luna, she's like, But if you're not terrorists, then why'd you steal the casino?
Oh, well, isn't it obvious? And I just stare at her.
And she looks over at Basil and then back at you, and she says, I don't think anything that's going on here is obvious to me whatsoever. No.
Basil just looks down and he's like, I want a card game.
And then I'm like, see, he won a card game. And we need something to fly. Should be pretty obvious, huh?
And she's like, look, I mean, no disrespect or anything, but this is my first day on the job, and I did not even know this was a spaceship.
Oh, well, you need to relax. Would you like me to make you something?
She looks at the acid you've just created eating through the bar, and she's like, no, I'm good. Thanks.
And then I go and I make myself a tiny little cocktail, and I plop a little alien tentacle in it, and it wiggles around at the bottom, and I start sipping from it. So
we pan over to an alien just holding the stump of a tentacle, looking at you angrily.
No!
Just looking at you like, that's mine.
Oh,
We're the bad guys.
We're always the bad guys, okay?
So Basil, what are you doing? Are you just practicing the card game?
I mean, practicing is a strong word. I'm literally just throwing cards in, trying to at different times, trying to figure out how to do it. I still have no concept of this. I don't understand games. They seem like a waste of time to me, but I'm very good at them. However, this one I cannot figure out, and it has me perplexed.
Okay. So I guess what is Luna? It's clear to you that Basil's not doing anything right now.
Oh, I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing anything.
So what are you doing?
You
make yourself a drink, and then
I'm gonna make myself a drink. I look at everybody, my eyes pan across the crowd that we have collected, and finally I turn to Basil and I'm like, have you seen our little glowy friend? Where's she at?
I assume she's here somewhere.
So you don't know? I thought she was your friend. You don't know where your friend is?
Huh?
Okay, well, we should probably find her and maybe get out of here. Plus, what's the big guy? The big guy that he's in charge, right? Or are you in charge? I don't even know anymore. I never asked this. I should have asked this.
No, if we leave, I could be in charge.
You want to be in charge of all these people?
Oh, we can get rid of them.
Well, first, let's worry about our...
So there's some... When you say that, the people near enough to hear you, look at each other all frightened, and someone is like, ah! And becomes afraid of dying at your horrible hands.
The vapor shit, yeah.
Yeah, someone faints, just kind of whispering, you monsters.
And I'm just like, no. See, they might be of great use to us later. Okay? At least me. Maybe not you.
Well, then you can be the leader.
Okay, well, if I'm the leader, I say we look for the little glowy friend and the big old man with the attitude problem, okay?
I love that Sam's face contorted a little
bit. I saw that too.
What the fuck are you calling old?
You're not even here. You can't hear this.
Yeah, you better hope I never do.
Yeah, so you're like, we need to find our friends.
Yeah, I basically say we need to find them.
Okay.
Because I don't have a plan. What am I gonna? I'm gonna experiment on all these people if no one shows up. That's what I'm gonna.
Not to share that with them.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but yeah, that's my.
That's what you're thinking.
Well, who's going to watch all these people if we're gone?
Oh, you got a point. You watch the people. I'll go look for them, and maybe look for some other things while we're at it.
Right, I'll watch the people.
Don't harm all of them. I need some.
You're a good leader.
And then I finish my drink and I slurp in the tentacle and then I walk out to look for into a corridor to look for the others.
Okay.
Oh.
So you walk out into the corridor. Are you armed at all? Do you have a weapon or?
I'm pretty sure I should still have the pistol on me. Plus, okay. I mean my concoctions.
Sure. Yeah. So you walk out with your pistol. We see you like stalk out into the hall. What kind of, this is a weird question, but what kind of shoes is Luna wearing? Like, is this a like angry high heels clicking like out of the room thing, or?
No, she wears flats. She can't be bothered to wear heels ever. So
Okay. I was just checking because I thought you might maybe have like dressed differently for the casino.
She's wearing a dress, but she's wearing like nice looking flats. They're a little glowy and sparkly, but they're flats. So
cool. Okay. All right. So we see you head out. The door slides open. You walk out, and it hisses and shuts behind you. The whole casino is in kind of low power mode because it's in flight mode. So all the casino systems have kind of toned down. And when you walk out, we cut over to another scene that none of the PCs are present for. We hear someone. There's a woman. We can hear her voice on the radio, and we hear this as we kind of pan over to the scene, and she's like, "That's right. There were 4 of them, and they interrupted the game. There was some kind of explosion." And we cut to what looks like a locker room or some kind of storage room, and we see Cherry Poutine, and she's got a walkie-talkie kind of device, like a sci-fi walkie-talkie, and she's talking into it. And she has taken off her jacket, so she's just wearing like a white undershirt. And she says, "Well, we can't." She's in the middle of this conversation. "Well, we can't just wait for you to come and get us. I gotta go save those people." And we see her put the thing down, and she like locks and loads a gun, and then we see her run out of the room. And for some reason, she doesn't have any shoes on.
I'm getting her. My arch nemesis. She doesn't have any shoes on.
Yeah, so we just see her run.
I'm getting her.
We just see her run barefoot out into the hall, ready to save her friend.
Oh, she rips her dress.
Yeah.
More.
She wasn't wearing a dress in the first place, but yeah.
She now has one on. No, I'm kidding.
She now has one.
Her combat dress. Well, she was wearing the like checkered suit, but she has she's just down to her undershirt and her pants, which are like torn on the bottom. She doesn't have her shoes on because she was in high heels before. So we see her run out into the hall and disappear. So meanwhile, we crossfade over. Where do we set the scene for me here, Artemis? Where are you?
So last we saw Artemis, she was just jumping from a rapidly leaving ship, aka casino, and was trying to make it to the opening to the stairwell that would go down to the main floor that our story began in last time. I assume I made it.
Yeah, we saw you like leaping into the void. So maybe we see you in that would be great. So we cut back to this scene of, and it's through Artemis's blurry remembering of the scene. So we see it all from your perspective, the inside of the helmet, the hard breathing, the silence. There is the void between you as you leap out into darkness. And I think let's have a flashback just from Artemis. So you describe the scene for me. It doesn't have to be an interaction, but what is a memory that Artemis has of Rex that would drive her to go back for him?
There was probably a time really early on when she started hanging around Rex. This was kind of before he really acknowledged her very much. She just kind of decided she was going to follow him around, right? And out of habit, she was still stealing food.
Right. Okay.
Like they would be walking around and she would steal stuff. And there was a moment where Rex caught her, and it was kind of obvious. He didn't seem surprised at all. It was obvious that he knew she had been doing this the whole time, but got kind of fed up with it. And just like grabbed her hand, and she dropped whatever it was that she was holding.
Some kind of space
fruit.
Yeah. Totally.
Some
clear, obvious prop.
Yeah. And just said, "You don't got to do that anymore." And just turned around and kept walking. And it was like the first moment that she sort of felt like, oh, maybe am I maybe this is a turning point for my life. Like, it was the first time that he showed any kind of an interest in her and her, like, having more respect for her life and her future.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe what we see, we see you leap into the darkness and things fade, and maybe there's the red lining on your HUD warning you like you're running out of air or whatever, but just kind of like really aggressively proving that you're in a dangerous situation. You black out and you remember this thing, and then we hear the real sort of sound come back as the suit is beeping at you that you're running out of oxygen, and we can see through the scratched faceplate of the helmet. You are sitting in this half shredded room, basically, just kind of like floating, and one of your legs is pinned under a piece of debris. You don't remember landing or how you got here. You just remember leaping out after Rex.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Your suit's it's got a hole in it. Maybe you look at it and the leg is like spraying
Right.
atmosphere.
So am I in the? Did I manage to make it to the steps?
Yeah, I think you look behind you and there's just the great vacuum of space, and then this comet trail of debris, and then way off in the distance, the glimmering disc catching the light of the sun of the casino as it flies away.
Yeah, I think as she wakes up, the first thing that she sees is the casino. And then, like, the noises start to register, and then she sees the hole, and it's panic. It's like, I need to get inside, right? So she would, for sure, scramble to where I would scramble to where I believe the nearest door is. Yeah.
Okay, well, first you got to get this debris off your leg, right? Because you're
Right.
pinned down, and there's like a hole in the suit.
Right. Is there anything like maybe the bar that you would use to like go up the steps? Maybe part of that has broken that I could use as leverage to like.
Yeah, like it's a destroyed kind of construction set, so there's guaranteed rebar everywhere. Just
right.
Rebars.
I would like to grab a pipe-shaped thing.
Yeah.
that is conveniently near me in this
Totally.
movie. And try to use it to like as like get a little bit of leverage on it.
So of course you see something that would be appropriate and you turn to grab it and you reach out for it and it's like just out of reach, right? So you like strain for it with the tips of your fingers, but you can't quite reach it. What are you gonna do?
Can I? So I'm pretty small, right? Like I'm like a preteen humanoid.
Yeah.
So it actually turns out that the sleeve hasn't been completely all the way out this entire time. It's bunched up a little bit. So I want to like take my hand out of the glove part and try to just like whip it over and like roll it to me.
Right. Okay. All right. So you reach out. Let's have you make a roll. So you're trying to be clever. Let's say difficulty. Let me take a look here. Difficulty for Artemis, clever. Let's just call it difficulty 2. See if you get nice. Right. So of course you don't get it on the first shot, right? You're like, and you like your arm shoots out and kind of the glove hits it. You like to drag it back, and you throw it again, and it hits it. And maybe the bar gets pushed slightly further away the second time. Right? And the suit is just like warning, and like blinking in your face. And then finally you throw it.
It's like Dragon Ball Z style, where for the last who knows how long, it's been like 1 minute for remaining oxygen. Exactly. It's just like, but it seems to just stay at 1 minute forever.
Anybody who is watching the DVD, they could start it and it's like been 6 or 7 minutes and it keeps saying like 45 seconds remaining. You're like, you said that 10 seconds ago. So you throw your arm out finally. The glove lands on the thing. One of the magnetic seals on the glove like attaches to the miscellaneous metal debris object, and you can reel it back in with your sleeve, and then get a hold of it. And now you want to try to like lever the thing. Okay. All right. Let's say difficulty 2, forceful, but you can take a +1 from your tool that you've got.
Okay, great. I did it.
Okay. All right. So what does that look like?
0 for me.
Yeah, it's not good. You're not good at being forceful, but you get your hands on this piece of metal and then describe how you free yourself.
I sort of like try to just shove it underneath. And then it's like it would be kind of comical if I didn't see 45 seconds remaining for the last 5 minutes, right? But it's a lot of like
right, like
and like nothing happening and just trying to like how do they do this in the how I know that this is a thing, right? Like this should work. And finally just manages to like throw all of her body weight into it and just like slowly lift it up enough that her foot comes out.
Okay, sure. So I think when you push down on it and you get the piece of space concrete off, there is a tearing sound, which of course we can hear because whatever, there's an atmosphere in space, I guess. And so we hear this tearing sound, and your suit oxygen level just goes like boop 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 and disappears, and it like blinks, and a thing pops up and it says oxygen 0%, goodbye, and then the whole suit just like goes off. So you I think we see your face, and the inside of the helmet starts to form with like ice crystals, and we can start to see your veins under your gold skin start to like pop a little bit. What are you gonna do?
First of all, I imagine myself with green veins. I just want to point that out.
Wow.
I assume my foot is like kind of bashed up, but I want to just like get to the door as soon as possible. Yeah.
So you crawl towards the door, you pull yourself up the wall, you grab the handle of the door and you pull down on it, and the door's locked from the outside. So you pull on it, just like clunk, and there's a red
Adam?
Red light blinks. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna bang on it. Cause there's still people in there. I know there's still people in there. So I'm just gonna fucking, with all the strength I have left as I'm just losing oxygen and my brain is shutting down, just like, please somebody open this door.
So it's a perfect scene to go out on for the break. So we see Artemis just pounding on the door. And then we slowly pan out to like all the garbage. A body like floats by, and there's just this like bang, bang, bang on the door, and you're trying to breathe, and your eyes are all bulging in your face, and then we fade out to our first break.
Oh, she dead.
What? What, Jessup?
So stick around. Can Artemis survive? Find out after this. More Nebula Jazz when we get back.